$219 for 300 millimeters. That's an incredible buy, but is the price too good to be true? I'm going to be reviewing the Canon 75 to 300 millimeter f4 to f5.6 lens. I'm going to be doing portraits, wildlife, sports. We're going to talk about the results, the sharpness, the autofocus speed, and more. But first, if you're taking beautiful pictures, you probably want a place to post them, and that's where our sponsor Squarespace comes in, because you can drag and drop your favorite photos there, look professional, sell your prints, get clients, or just show off without ads and thirst traps like on social media. So go to Squarespace, try it for free for 14 days, and use the coupon code Chelsea to get 10% off. The link is in the description. Thanks, Squarespace. Now let's get into the review. Let's talk a little bit about the specifications and the design of this lens. Now it's an f4 to f5.6 lens, but you're gonna hit f5 at about 100 millimeters, so you run out of that f4 stuff pretty fast. It's got no image stabilization, so you'll want a body with IBIS if you're gonna be doing any kind of sports, wildlife, or action to make sure that you have some stabilization and you can get crisp shots at a lower shutter speed. Also, it's super light. It's about a pound, 507 grams for all of you non-Americans. So it's compact, it's light, and you get a lot of zoom for the price at $219. We'll put it to the test with portraits and see what the results look like. I'm doing some test portraits on Frank, the cameraman, who's doubling as my model, to see how well it works for a little bit of movement. Wow, we're getting some really nice like background blur and bokeh.
I would think you would.
Yeah. For still portraits, it works great, and at f4 I'm getting some really nice background blur, but I want to have Frank move a little bit and see how it keeps focus. So can you like back up a few blocks on the sidewalk and then walk towards me?
Yep.
I think it looks good.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks really nice, and actually, even though it's not the fastest lens, it's still finding focus. I have eye autofocus on the R6 Mark II, so it's snapping onto his eye. Now, when he's walking towards me, that's when the lens gets challenged a bit, because it's got an older focusing system from like 1999. It is a little bit noisy and also slow, so when he's walking, it's not keeping up, and he's slightly out of focus. I think it's still usable. You know, if you're posting to social media, I don't think people are going to notice, but if you're looking for tack sharp lens, this isn't right. Let's talk about using this lens as an around town or travel camera. So if you're out to dinner on vacation and you want to take a picture of your food, you're going to have to get about this far away before you can get your subject in focus. So if you're thinking about taking pictures of your meal or your loved one across the table, then the minimal focus distance of almost 5 feet is really going to impede that type of photography. And also you have to remember that at the widest angle, it's 75 millimeters. So if I'm taking pictures across the street of Niantic Cinema building, I can't even get the entire thing in the frame. So for architecture and things like that, it's not going to be a good choice. Where it will excel, obviously, is if you're doing longer shots. Like if I wanted to get a more detailed shot of things that I'm seeing around town, you can easily zoom in and get those, and it's nice for isolating the beautiful details wherever you're going. You're not going to need a fast focusing for that. So, but I would say I would want a wider lens if I was going to do around town type stuff, food photography, or close-up shots of family and friends. 300 millimeters could potentially be excellent for sports. So we're going to take some pictures of us playing kickball and see if it can capture the action, because one of the complaints about this lens is that it's very slow, and I have noticed that. So we'll see how much it can get, what the limitations will be, and where it excels. Let's go. All right, I have Frank going out there and he's going to pretend to play kickball. We'll see how much action we can cover. Go ahead, Frank. This is what you're going to be doing with your kids soon when they play soccer. He has to be athletic and photogenic. All right, I think that's good.
Okay.
So you're getting some action and some of it is pretty much in focus, but it's still soft when there's any movement. It's not super sharp. And the focusing is not extremely fast, but with the R6, it has a really good focusing system, so that's helping it out. Let's try for some shots that aren't action, because I think the reality of it is that you're probably going to be taking pictures of people you know, not a professional game at this level, and you mostly just want nice pictures of your kids or your loved ones playing, so let's see what that would be like. I'm gonna get a bleacher shot, like I'm on the bleachers and Frank's out here, and I'll show you how that extra reach works. Go Frankie, run! Get it! That's what parents are like at the games. Get it, Frankie! Look, it's not the fastest, it's not the sharpest, but look at these pictures. These are pretty good. I think a lot of people would be happy with just seeing these pictures. A lot of reviewers beat up on this lens because if you're used to a lens that's $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, then of course you're gonna notice that this is slow and less sharp, but I think it's usable. I think it still captures the memories, and you get that 300 zoom, which is helpful for seeing things far away. Next, we're going to be testing it for wildlife, which I think will be the biggest challenge yet. But first, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Squarespace. If you're taking beautiful pictures, you want a place to share them that's not social media, you want to sell some or show off your best work, Squarespace is the best place to make it happen, because not only is it easy to make, but it makes your pictures look beautiful, and it gives you one place to do everything you need for your photography. Try it for 14 days for free, and when you're ready to buy it, you can go to squarespace.com/Chelsea and use the coupon code Chelsea to get 10% off. Thanks, Squarespace. Let's get that wildlife.
Oh yeah.
Do you hear this? So you can hear the focusing motor, and it's loud, but also you can hear that it's very slow. So it's giving you an idea of how fast this tracks a subject. A bird just flew by and it was hunting very slowly. I don't think I ended up getting the shot of the bird. Let's see. No, I didn't. When there's going to be something fast moving, even if you have your shutter speed fast, when people say this is a slow focusing lens, I mean, it's taking such a long time to get your subject in focus that it's probably going to be gone by the time it gets in focus, if it ever gets there. So if you're trying to do fast action wildlife, the focusing speed is what's going to limit you there. But here's the thing, you're getting 300 millimeters for about $200. If I come out here and there are still birds, waterfallow that's being very slow, or if there's a perched bird, maybe some birds at your feeder if you're just getting into wildlife, I still think this is a good option. You can see in these photos here, there's some other issues optically. There's a lot of chromatic aberration if the subject is backlit especially. Even this buoy here has a little bit of it and it's lit perfectly. So the quality of the lens is not super great. We know this, it's $200, you're not getting tack sharp stuff. But what I'd like to accentuate is that you're still getting 300 millimeters, you're still getting the excitement of seeing something far away, and this might inform where you want to go on your photo journey next. If you're shooting with this and you love wildlife and sports, then you can say to yourself, I'm doing this all the time, I think it's ready to upgrade to something a little better. And if you're thinking about doing that, the Canon 100-400 f5.6 to f8, you could get it about $600 used on the RF mount, and I think it's $700 new, and it's a lot sharper, a lot faster, and it's more expensive too, so you might want to wait until you know that's an investment for you. So as far as wildlife goes, I'm going to say if you're just starting your wildlife journey and you're okay with shooting things that are mostly still, maybe getting an action shot every now and then, I still think this is a good option. If you want to know more about the 100-400, if you're thinking about upgrading, I have a video about it on budget wildlife, and I'll put the link down in the description below. But let's wrap this up and talk about the summary. We know what this is. It's lightweight, it's compact, it's a great price, and I think it's a good introduction to telephoto photography for sports, wildlife, or telephoto portraits. It's pretty versatile, and though it has its limitations, like it's not very sharp, the optical quality isn't that great, I think it still serves its purpose, and it's great for a beginner looking to try something like this. I recommend it, and when you decide to move up, the 100-400 is a great option. If you'd like to see more videos like these, be sure to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram, and thank you Squarespace for making this video possible. If you want your very own Squarespace website, go to squarespace.com/Chelsea and check out the coupon code Chelsea to get 10% off. That saves you 10%, and it lets Squarespace know that I'm doing a good job. So thanks to all of you, and thank you Squarespace. See you next time.